And now we're live.
All right.
So, not that we had much preparation for what we're going to talk about, but I want to welcome you to what I'm calling Surgite, my podcast for the Sparhawk community. I'm going to try not to say a lot. This is my first real episode. I had a couple trial runs, and Jim Golden, thank you for being my first guest.
Glad to be here, Dan.
Don't be nervous. It's okay. This is just a conversation.
Yeah.
We are venturing forth into a new area. This project of mine, I'm just really interested in learning more about people and their lives, where they came from, what their vision of the world, what their life is like, vis-a-vis Christianity. That's main focus is the Christian life, how people live it, how people perceive it, and certainly Sparhawk Academy here, where my son goes. He's going to be in 6th grade coming up, as you know, because you were his first teacher, 4th grade. This school is amazing, and part of what I'm doing is trying to get to know the people who started it, the people who are supporting it, the people who are living it and making it a reality every day, and just kind of giving a bit of a exposure to all that goes on there, and then also the deeper things of why and what's motivated the people that started the school, because that's a huge aspect of my life right now. But anyway, that's the intro. So Jim, again, thank you for joining me here, and I'm just going to ask you some questions to find out about you.
Sure.
So you started saying that where you were born. You were born in the city of Boston.
Yeah. Back in the early 80s. I'm the youngest of 9 children.
Wow.
Grew up in Braintree, Massachusetts. I'm in the house. I live in the house that I grew up in with my father. He's 91.
God bless him. That's great.
Yeah.
So is it like one big family house?
Yeah, it's a two-family house.
Family?
There's a second-floor apartment.
Okay.
We used to, Gabby and I, my wife is Gabby. I got 4 children.
Okay, all right. Well,
4
we can get to
boys,
that. We started with where you're born,
Yeah.
and where you grew up. So I was just asking about, if you grew up as one family of 11 people mainly, or did you have other people live there at the time when you were growing up?
Yeah, it was just us. Oftentimes there were
11's enough.
siblings were off in college.
Yeah.
So
How old is your oldest sibling?
she was born in 1964.
Okay.
So she just turned she's 60.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm 44.
44. That's
Yeah.
a big range.
Yeah.
16 years, right?
Yep, 16 years. Yep.
Okay, so you grew up in Braintree. I have lots of questions about your family, but I'll just let you kind of rattle on like as you go.
Sure.
Where did you go to elementary school?
I went to public school, Braintree Public Schools. Now this kind of is, I don't know if we, it has to do with Sparhawk. The fact that I went to Braintree High School. And my brother Steve, my next older brother, went to Braintree High School. My 3 other older brothers went to a school called Westbridge, which was a boys' school, an Opus Dei boys' school.
Aha, where is that located?
It was kind of like Sparhawk before Sparhawk, and
Oh,
it was
really?
opened, I think, in the late 70s. My father taught there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in multiple locations. The last place it was in Brighton, and that was when they decided they had to close the school, I think, in around 1990. And my brother Pete graduated from there, and Steve and I would have gone there, but it closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since Westbridge closed, a lot of people were it was a sad
Sure.
event. But I think that idea of having a boys' school in this region kind of continued to,
There was that need that
stay
kind
there.
of kept
Yeah.
growing, and
after Westbridge. And
Yeah.
we also allowed for an opportunity to kind of give it another shot and learn some lessons from what happened with Westbridge. So anyways, I didn't go to Westbridge. I went to Braintree High School. and then I went to St. Anselm College.
Up in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Is it Manchester? Where is
Yeah,
it?
Manchester,
Yeah.
New Hampshire. Yeah.
What'd you study?
I was liberal studies in the great books. I was a great books major,
That's cool.
which was in the philosophy department.
I always wished I had done something like that after engineering school, because engineering school felt very empty. I mean, there was a lot to know. It was crammed full of how to, but there was very little in terms of the humanities.
Yeah.
I mean, you took some electives, but you didn't get deep level electives.
Yeah.
It was like intro to English, or I took a writing class or something like that.
Yeah.
But I always admired Demetra's. Demetra is an English major, so she studied and read books. Although, from what I hear, it was a lot of reading. It was probably more reading than I would be able to do, because I'm a slow reader.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of your college academic?
Well, I mean, I loved the great books major. I kind of wanted to pursue academia after college, like maybe philosophy. I think I overrated my philosophical capabilities.
I think most people do.
I can see it clearly now when I have a conversation with Sean Mahoney.
Yeah.
Although I still appreciate it, and like I like wrestling with these philosophical ideas, and I just, I got this sense that I could do this. I could learn this stuff. I know I have a long way to go, but that's the beauty. There's no something. It's a continuous thing. Study.
Yeah.
Growing your mind.
Especially
as a Christian, right? And so, but learning some of these concepts, philosophical concepts, like I really enjoy that and love it. But I did come to realize, after I graduated from St. A's, I did a master's in ethical and cultural studies over in Galway, Ireland, and I did a thesis, like an 80-page thesis, and I did a lot of time researching. That's when I realized I couldn't do this full time. I don't think I could make a living out of, just this level of engagement with books and philosophy and things like that.
I can
Nevertheless,
understand
here I am
that. Just knowing from how you spend your time now, you're a very hands-on kind of do-it person, and even though that, I mean, you maintain the grounds, but you're also a teacher.
Yeah.
And so you need a balance. Whereas I think what I'm hearing you say is, in academia, it's way too much of one thing. It's almost like my perception of engineering, where it was just too much of one thing and not enough to balance out the human side.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I appreciate it in tidbits, when I'm on my game.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's college, and then I remember you telling me that you worked in finance.
Yeah, I worked for State Street Bank, for State Street Corporation, for 10 years.
How did you get into that? Was that something you wanted to do?
No. After college, I lived in Ireland for a year. And then I got that master's, and then I came back and I was a carpenter's helper for about a year and a half. And I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to, kind of get into carpentry. I still do. I love carpentry, working with my hands, but I wanted to also learn about business and like how to run my own business. I think we were talking about this earlier. I was mentioning something about things that you don't know that other people seem to know. And you also mentioned, like, with the engineering major, it taught you too much of, what'd you say? How'd you put it? Like,
I don't remember.
What to do or how to, the know-how, I don't know, practical knowledge, right? I didn't have any of that. I had some.
Well, I wouldn't say it was practical. I mean, engineering school is kind of very impractical. It's very theoretically based, but it's oriented towards people learning how things, like the understructure of things, So I find that, like, coming out of engineering school, especially younger people that I see come into the workforce, they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of theory.
Yeah.
But even still, it's kind of along the same lines. It's like the theory is how things work, or
Mm-hmm.
the science, and making science into a practical product in some
Yeah.
way. But anyway,
Yeah,
I digress.
I feel like I didn't know how things worked. Um, at least on that kind of level of the world. I think I knew I had a good introduction to like humanities
Hmm.
with the great books major, right? But I was not by any means street smart or didn't know anything about business.
Right?
It's funny when I moved to Ireland. It was my brother. He and I both wanted to just move to Ireland after college. My sister married an Irishman, and we went to the wedding. And we wanted to go somewhere. We thought first about going to Colorado after I graduated. We just kind of wanted to live somewhere different because it was that period of time in my life where I didn't have any other things going
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah. The world was your oyster.
yeah. And so we
Take
picked
your pick.
Ireland, but I always considered myself like whatever, just more accomplished than my brother, my older brother. For a lot, I don't know. Like I guess the point is, I came to realize after we moved there, like he's a lot better at a lot of these things than I am. Like he just had more street smarts.
Yeah.
Like he figured out how to I was always considered myself like smarter than him, and I think he was like, oh, Jimmy's really smart. Jimmy's wicked smart. I don't know, but I latched on to him for so many different things of like how to set up shop and get jobs in Ireland and do these things.
Yeah.
Practical knowledge.
There's so many different aspects
Yeah, and he was good at it.
to being good at things, or knowing things.
And so I just realized I know very little about like business, for example. I need to learn this stuff.
Hmm.
And so this is we're arriving at the answer to how I ended up at State Street, and that was because I wanted to just like learn about business, and I wanted to get into an MBA program, and they would pay for it. So I'd get a job, like an entry level job at a place where I a lot of people I knew. Braintree high grads. Hey, he works at State Street. This kid works at State Street. He can probably get a job at State Street. And then they paid for my MBA. And I got an MBA, and I worked there. I ended up working there for 10 years because then I got married and had a family. It was hard to like pull out of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great opportunity, and you must have. I mean, was it stressful interviewing there? I feel like that's a hard job to get.
Oh, that part wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were hiring a lot of entry level people, and I knew someone, and the interviewing part was easy enough.
So you got 10 years of State Street, and so was that the end of State Street, the beginning of Sparhawk for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I really want to know a lot about how Sparhawk came to be, and I'm gonna ask everybody probably in terms of people that are related to the school, like what was it like for you? Because to me, the fact that this school exists and it is the way it is, which is to me, it's just an astounding accomplishment of wonderful people to bring a school like this into being and have it be as successful as it is right now. And I am very thankful to God that it does exist, because I think it's helping a lot of people. It's helping me, my family. So anyway, I just want to know a little bit about, were you involved in the start of Sparhawk?
No.
So
I mean,
what was the first?
Not in the initial. I was the first person Sparhawk hired.
Oh,
I was the first teacher hired.
I knew you were the first. You were the
Yeah,
first
so I
year
was
teacher.
I
but-
was in on Sparhawk before, over a year. Over a year and a half before the school actually opened.
Okay.
But there
So
was
you were
a lot,
you
there
were
had
were
been-
you were the one, you were on the list of like, all right, we need to fill out a faculty, and we don't have anybody on the list. You were the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
To say yes?
I approached Bob Sylvain in the fall of 2016 because I knew that this was in the works.
Yeah.
I knew Tim Casey, Dave Riley, Bob Sylvain. I've known all these guys for years.
Yeah.
And there were some other people too. I knew that there was a group of people working on trying to start a boys' school, and I already had 3 boys at that time, and I was very interested in this.
Yes, I can see that.
Right. They did a lot of legwork and planning and mainly looking for properties.
Yeah.
See, getting back to that Westbridge comment, like one thing they learned from that was that if you don't have your own property,
so they were renting probably or leasing.
Yeah, they were leasing, and then they had to move out of where they were. I think in Lexington or something, move to Brighton, and that's what did them in.
Yeah.
So that was the approach of this group of guys.
Because you lose families, you're too
they
far
lost
away.
families, and I don't know what else. Probably also doesn't look good, so the people that started Sparhawk, that was going to be their approach, was to nail down a property first.
Yeah.
So before they even had the property, they were things were in the works. They were aiming for opening in fall of 2018, which we did. I approached Bob Sylvain in the fall of 2016. And that's a whole story too, as what because I was working for State Street at the time, asking about this idea of me being a teacher at this boys' school.
Yeah.
And so we went out to lunch and talked about it, and the idea was that if I'd be up for spending a year teaching at the Heights School in Potomac, Maryland, right outside of D.C. for the school year 2017-2018, that would, if I could do that, he'd hire me to work at Sparhawk, to be a teacher at Sparhawk.
Is that a prerequisite for every teacher here, or
no?
Something similar?
They had in mind that they wanted to hire experienced teachers,
of course,
right? Because they're starting a new school.
And you weren't one,
and I wasn't one, right? So they weren't just going to pull people off the street and say, "All right, we got a school here. Come on, sign up."
Good luck.
Yeah. But they did have in mind, maybe they could find, even before I approached Bob, they had in mind someone that might be willing to teach at the Heights for a year. And so Bob proposed that idea to me. And shortly after he said it, I thought maybe this could work, but it was going to involve moving my whole family down there.
Yeah.
So of course I had to talk to my wife about it.
Mm-hmm.
She had a sister living in that area at the time, which I knew could make the idea more appealing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. I mean, that was
picked up, and so you moved out.
Yeah, and so I was the first. So at that point, I was a Sparhawk guy, because I was going down with this kind of understanding that this is a 1-year thing. And when I come back, there's going to be a job.
You're not a new hire at that
job
school.
Waiting for me.
You're a trainee.
Yeah, although I was definitely a Heights teacher.
Yeah.
I was a full-fledged member of the Heights faculty.
Really? So they just
year.
take? Is that how they? Do they? I've heard other people going there for similar things.
Yeah, I owe a lot of gratitude to the Heights School.
They must have a really well-oiled machine if they can just take in somebody.
They took me on, and I was a 4th grade homeroom teacher, and I had 18 boys. So they would. Looking back, I didn't really know what to think of that at the time. But looking back, like you think about these parents that are, paying a lot of money to have their son go to this private school, and by the way, your son's primary teacher is this just dude we grabbed out of But I'm
sure
whatever.
You had a well-known probably history. Knew a lot of people in the school. They knew you. You weren't somebody coming from California just be like, hey, I need a job.
Yeah. Right. I was a father of 4.
Yeah. You fit the profile.
I guess so.
You could be a parent.
I just didn't have teaching experience.
Right.
So it was trial by fire. I had a little bit of I had some conversations in the summer, kind of know what to expect. Mm-hmm. But basically on day one it's like, here's your 18 4th grade boys, and all the best. And so
do you find that I don't want to spend too much time talking about your experience there, but I think it's really important. So did you find that you like there was a break-in period, and then you kind of got your legs under you and you kind of figured it out somewhere early, mid, late, or because by the time you got to Sparhawk, presumably you were a veteran.
Then after early, mid, late, there's never. That was me. Was never.
So you, okay.
Not that year, anyways.
Uh-huh.
But you know, the following year, I had learned a ton. I never got. Sometimes it's how you start out.
Yes, I can understand that.
Sets you up for
Right.
how the year's going to go.
You can never kind of claw back those
I was
mistakes.
unable. Yeah. Right. And I think I learned that I wasn't the only person that had a tough time with this particular group of boys. In terms of they were a rowdy group.
Mm-hmm.
They were wonderful. I loved them. But basically it was a entire school year of just me having to start over and try to figure this out. It was a challenge. I mean, it was a success, right? We had a good year, but in terms of like get this sense that I've mastered this skill here.
Right.
Not in that first year.
You were reacting a lot, maybe.
And maybe I'm still working on mastering that.
But to know that you can go from the beginning of a school year through more or less how you wanted to go. Maybe that's what I was asking for. Like, if that was your first year here, or do you think it still took a couple more years for you to?
Well, my first year here, I had 7 boys, and it was very pleasant.
Okay,
a very good group of boys.
And then as the school grew, your classes grew.
Yeah.
And you kind of grew with the experience as well.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, that first year at the Heights was so valuable. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about teaching here? In terms of your relationship with the class and how it goes. I mean, there's other aspects to the school, but.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the boys. I have a good time with them. Not all the time, but a lot of the times. I feel like I can be effective teaching them, and there's a lot of joy in that. So I like the relationship you build with the class, especially like, over the course of the year with a home room, and I love the boys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what,
So, I mean, from what I see, it's a pretty intimate relationship where you're helping form them, and this whole school's project is to form good men, right, of virtue, and so I don't know, I think it's really neat to be a part of someone's life like that. And I imagine most of the boys at this school don't realize how good it is until they'll be older and look back. Right. And similarly, like the efforts that their teachers put in. I mean,
it's funny. I'm thinking mainly like the fourth. I've had most experience teaching 4th grade.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole thing of being a teacher to these boys, like the content of the classes itself is very kind of insignificant.
Yeah.
It's
right.
So much more is it just. I mean, you got a job to do. Like why are we here? We're here to do math today. But that's just kind of like a vehicle through which you're building up. You're trying to work on teach them how to work and
building character.
do stuff. Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, that's kind of where I was headed, was asking the question what your favorite part of teaching them is, because I can imagine it be quite rewarding, but also, has a lot of opportunities for discouragement or frustration with who knows what things happen. Even events in the world could disrupt things. Speaking of events in the world, when the Pope was elected, Pope Leo, I just thought it was so cool. The whole school just like screeched to a halt, and all the teachers and had their class come to the Great Hall and put up the big TV and just
Yeah.
watch. Like, we knew that there was a Pope, there was white smoke, and
Yeah.
then we was like waiting for like an hour, maybe,
Yeah.
something like that. It was,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Well,
as long as I thought, but then
Yeah.
they
I
gave
think
out.
one thing that makes Sparhawk kind of special is we're like a family, and I think that's I use that kind of analogy or that mindset a lot when you're with the boys. Like, and I think that intentionally, like we're like that allows for informalities,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's actually more. It's more important that you're like a father figure to the boys than you are like a getting through each lesson of the math textbook.
Yeah.
It's way more important.
Yeah.
And that also allows for a lot of freedom, just in terms of how you carry out your curriculum, because there's so many different ways that you can teach them lessons, or just engage with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just give them the sense that this adult person enjoys being with me, and you make yourself a lot more convincing and believable in the things that you're actually saying to them,
Yeah.
when you're enjoying their company and doing things like taking a break from class and just going out and chopping wood, or doing these like, well, I was talking to someone recently about oh right, yeah, it was craftsmanship class. Like, one of the dads, his son came home and was talking about how much fun he had that day because Mr. Golden let him carry the chainsaw, because we went into it was I don't usually
Was
it
it
means
running?
usually it means that I didn't have a lesson completely planned, so I'm like, let's go out and cut firewood in the deep woods.
Oh man, that's
And
awesome.
so I grab, sometimes I throw a class of boys in my pickup truck and we drive down, and they love that stuff.
I bet.
And I love it too. It's just like their excitement, they're simple, like, they're really quick to get fired up and excited about things.
Yeah.
Especially if the teacher is involved in leading it, because they look to the teachers. Like,
Yeah.
they're always,
Green light.
they're programmed that way. They're looking for guidance. They're looking,
Mm-hmm.
for leadership. It just, that's natural when you're a kid and you're with an adult. And anyways, what was I getting? Oh, this dad was telling me about how, that was his son loved that. You got to hold the chainsaw. But I was thinking, like, yeah, it's great when you can do kind of be spontaneous like that. But I
Yeah.
think getting back, like, that the fact that if you think about it, this is family life together. When you're with your family, it's not an institutionalized place.
Yeah,
It's a place of relationship, right? And so that, with that as your kind of guiding mentality as a teacher here, it just opens up this. Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. Let's
also-
let's go have some fun after.
I would say that the drive or the goal or the destination is not, like you said, it's not passing a test or memorizing X or Y or Z, or those are parts of it, right? You want that to be part, but if there's, if you feel like they just need a break, that's important too.
Yeah.
Going out and having fun is important too.
Yeah.
And like I was saying about the Pope being elected, that's important. They will remember that. Those kids that were there on that day who got out of the class because they were watching TV.
Yeah.
I felt like the school that has a broader understanding of what it means to educate children than to make sure that they meet the state standards,
Yeah.
It's so refreshing to see that and to
Yeah. I think. I mean,
to be glad that my family's part of it. It's just like you don't see that anywhere.
Yeah.
Most public schools, like they and my wife teaches in public schools, and man, it's such a stark difference, and it's very unfortunate that the difference is so stark, you know, because you'd think that this isn't that far-fetched to think that a school has the responsibility to raise a whole human being up, not just, you know, not just to cram their head full of things, but to teach them how to be people,
Yeah.
and to give them confidence and teach them leadership and show them leadership. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you're just sitting in the class every day, day after day, like my kids did in public school, nobody's out there taking the lead on a trail. You know, nobody's carrying the chainsaw. Nobody's. You're all just in that kind of static relationship. Except, you know, I'm here and you're there, and then the other person's in that other chair. It just stays there, and you're kind of sitting there receiving all the information. But
Yeah.
it's good to change that up and to have movement and have perspective. I don't know.
Yeah. And no, I think this is a pretty unique place.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing at public schools now or other schools. Actually, that's funny.
They
Like,
can't run on the pavement
I don't.
at all, because it's dangerous.
I feel like, yeah, like sometimes all I know is really Sparhawk, in terms of schools.
Yeah.
This is all I really know. I'm not an education expert.
It's
but-
stifling, I'll
but
tell
I-
you. It's
but I-
stifling.
Yeah.
Just to even know that, you know, the things that they miss so much,
Yeah.
because they're so focused on, you know, hitting metrics,
Yeah.
and that takes the life out of a teacher as well as out of a student, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I guess it's you know, I'm just grateful that my boys get to come here, and I get to be part of the community. It supports my family. So yeah, I thank God for that.
that's great. Okay, I think that was good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back and do another interview because there's more things I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah. That sounds good.
But I think that was a good start.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be a lot more articulate by the time we come back.
Maybe me too.
I have a hard time. Like, it's like my golf game. I always bring think when I don't. I think a lot of people have good days and bad days, but to me, I think I have a bigger range in terms of my ability to kind of focus and hone in on things, and it shows up big time in golf. Like, I can shoot like a 120, or I can be in the 80s.
Wow,
Most people
really?
don't have
That's a
a
wide range.
40 stroke range in their golf game, but I do. And so another place where it shows up big time is my ability to be generating interesting things to say. Sometimes I'm just kind of sometimes I got nothing. So
I think that's absolutely natural in an interview situation like this, where it's that's the host job, is to make sure that there's no lulls in the conversation. This is my first time, or second time doing it.
it's more than interviews. It can be it can be in any sort of interaction with other people.
Oh, I haven't noticed it generally, so
Yeah.
maybe you think.
Well,
You know,
what
that's
happens
another
a
thing.
lot of time when I'm here, I'm engaged because you have no like you get the boys don't give you a choice. You have to bring it
Yeah.
in the classroom, which is another really cool thing about the switch I made into teaching. It's like you have to bring it
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
and so you kind of build that skill of like, okay, figuring out how to bring it, and it kind of wakes you up, and you're very much engaged in people and what you're doing
Yeah.
while I'm here.
Yeah, I'll bet. They don't. You can't let them see your guard down, right?
Yeah.
Or like
Although-
caught
although it
unawares, or
it
not sure what to
happens,
do.
But the funny thing is that they're not as alert or aware of things. So you can make what you think you're making a complete fool out of yourself
Yeah.
in front of the boys. They're not picking up on stuff. You can be totally awkward. You can turn whatever, which is nice.
Oh.
But yeah, they can tell, but they can sense. They can sense a lot. Some things they don't pick up on, but then a surprising amount of things they do pick up on.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's true too.
They can smell
Unexpected
blood.
things.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, as we said, we should probably wrap it up. So again, thank you very much. I think this was great, and it was great to learn what what you had to share today.
Yeah.
And I know there's so much more, and this is why I'm doing this. It's just there's so much to each person, and you have such a limited ability to kind of glean that, unless you spend a lot of time, and we don't have that opportunity to spend that much time with a lot of people. So to me, it seems like this is my way of kind of doing that, but also sharing that and allowing people to share things that that they want to share.
A lot of people have stuff to say.
Yeah, they do.
I've thought about
They do.
trying to write something.
Really?
Like write
Fiction?
well no not fiction, like
Instruction manuals?
in essays about virtues or
Yeah.
something that could
yeah.
get published in the Minutemen Mail, for example. And I have written some things in the past,
Uh-huh.
but I've it's a shame, but I just don't get around to these things. But I've thought that'd be cool, even to write something about the Lord of the Rings, which
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to the audio recording of the Lord of the Rings 5 times, like the last 5 years in a row on the way to school with my boys. But I just think I'd like to get. I have this idea. I'm fascinated by these couple of particular characters, and I'd like to put things on paper about
Yeah.
it and just
Yeah.
delve into some ideas about it.
I find
My point is that I haven't got around to doing it. But a lot of people might have these things they want to say or talk about.
Yeah.
But this could be a forum in which they could do that.
well, I mean, I certainly
Instead
would,
of sitting down writing a.
I was about to say that writing has so much depth to it and potential, right? Because you can concentrate, you can think hard about how you're going to structure it, the way you're going to use the language, right? There's all sorts of ways to use a language, and style and all that stuff, but it can be very intimidating, and it also is a lot of hard work by yourself without anybody to kind of help you move you along. Nobody can tell you, hey, it's your time to sit down and write, because it's very personal. However, if you have ideas and you think about things, I find this at least with myself, think about things and have ideas, they never really become concretized. They don't get articulated in such a way unless you write it or you speak it, right?
Yeah.
Because you can have
You're trying to share
your
it
brain
with
goes
somebody
over
else.
so many things and the details, and you think you've kind of buttoned this idea up,
Yeah.
or you think you've kind of thought about that, but then you realize when you try to explain it, you really have to think a little bit harder about that, and then try to uncover what you're thinking and try to almost discover it for yourself, because you
Right.
know there's something there, but without having to put it into finite language, it kind of just goes and gets left kind of buried, I would say, is a way to think about it. So I used to write a lot. I used to write journals and story ideas, and I never really got a full story beginning to end completed. I always had tons of ideas and beginnings of stories, but yeah, I'm a starter. I'm not usually a completion type of person. That's always difficult, especially with house projects.
Yeah.
There's always something.
I wish.
Dimitri's really good at making me finish those things.
One of the things of as part of the spirit of Opus Dei is, Saint Josemaria talks about this at some points in the way, is finishing tasks with love. and something I need to keep working on.
Yeah.
I'm a starter.
Yeah.
um,
It's so exciting in the beginning, right? You
but
start some project.
I was talking to Gabby about this the other day. Is like I have a hard. I'm the property manager here at Sparhawk, and there's just so many things that like are undone that I know they need to get done, but I don't know how great I am at like producing, just getting tons of stuff done. And I think so that's kind of a weakness, but I think a strength I might have is like the things that I do, I like do them well.
Yeah.
Or it just takes me, I don't know, just make sure it's done right and done well, but it takes me a while to bang things out, But the things that I do, I guess.
I think there's a lot of value in that. That's my approach as well. I when I learn how to do something, there's usually a wide variety of people that I learn from online. Like if I'm trying to figure out how to, at one point I was tiling bathrooms. You could see the people that just do it quickly, and then you could see the people that do it well, and they know that they won't get called back on the job, for example, or whatever. And so, I'm working on my own home. Actually, it doesn't matter what I'm working on. I always try to do a good job. And that usually does take a long time, a little more time. And it's a job taking longer has more opportunities for new jobs to start in the meantime between the beginning and the end, right? Yeah. So then you kind of like, the closet's not important now. We don't have to finish the closet.
I feel like I need to fully comprehend things before I carry them out. And that means like, I don't know, like I'm afraid of like, I want to make sure
yourself
I
into a corner.
Anticipate any mistakes that are going to haunt me.
I'm not really good at that. I make mistakes all the time, and then I figure out how to get out of them, cover up. But I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, but that means I'm going to spend all this time doing research and like learning about before I actually take action. Because like, wait a second, I want to make sure that so that has advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, it comes down to probably a personality and a style. Would you rather spend time fixing mistakes or learning how to avoid them? There's probably a lot more value in learning how to avoid them because you can apply that going forward. But I would argue that you can also learn how to avoid them by making them, fixing them. So it's almost 6 of 1, right? I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about. I guess it depends on the subject. There's certain mistakes you probably don't want to make,
right?
And other ones, not a big deal. Anyway,
one time
we could probably keep on going forever. I don't. Yeah. I want to respect your time.
One last anecdote.
Oh, good. Okay.
So
I want to respect. I want to finish. Respect our wives' time.
Yeah, we got to get going.
They're expecting us.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we have these. This company that does the septic, they maintain our septic system. They pump it. Anyways, there was something wrong with it, and I wanted to like figure out what was going on with this thing. Long story short, I did all this research, and I was like, when they showed up, I was like, well, I think what it is it's this pump here, because I looked into it, and this, it might be, so I think that's the problem. And the guy turned and said, "You're doing too much research, Chief."
That's about right. I can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the other teachers thought that was a funny line, so we kind of occasionally, "Hey, you're doing too much research, Chief."
Well, it may have been a kind of a, what do you call it? A backhanded compliment? No. Well, the opposite of a backhanded compliment.
A front-handed?
Well, like a complimentary insult or jab, because I'm not sure what the end of the story is, but my mind goes to, you might be right, but I could have told you that in 2 seconds, and it took you several hours to find out the answer. Maybe that's not the way it went, but...
Well, no, in this case,
were you right or
if
wrong?
I didn't do that research, we would have paid them big bucks for something that never needed to be done to begin with.
Oh, too much research from his point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like...
Well, because just some layman was getting into his field of expertise.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
But that's why things might not get done. Instead of just like calling out, "Hey, get this done," whatever. I'm gonna like spend a few hours investigating investigating septic tank pump systems. Yeah, I learned a whole lot about them, but in the meantime, door closers remained broken and light bulbs remain
You need
replaced.
you need an assistant. You need an apprentice or somebody who
Yeah.
can check off boxes for you
Yeah.
once you figured out.
A lackey.
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate that term.
Yeah, no.
But somebody part time, like a high school kid, maybe, or somebody you could just learn once in a while, just to finish things off for you once you know what to do, and you bought the equipment that's needed or the replacement closer or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would go a long way. Because you're
Yeah, that
like,
might be in the works.
when engineers
I think we've come to realize that this, you need someone who's full time wearing that hat.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just a constant flow coming down.
Teaching is a jealous profession.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's like there's why did I say that? Because there's always like more you need to do, more you can do, and you're dealing with people and issues, and it's like it's not one of these things where it's like, oh, I pressed all the buttons here and this job is done. It's there's no limit to what you can do to help teach the boys or help refine your lesson plans or
So you're saying
curriculum.
It took me a while to understand this phrase because I've never heard that phrase before. But the teaching wants more of your time because it's just like you're not done yet. There's more. What about this and that?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It kind of grows. I noticed that with my wife when she was.
And you're always like coming up with exciting ideas. About, oh, maybe we can do this.
Which is
that's
good sign as a
That's
teacher,
the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like.
But you need your own life, and you need other things that you.
And that's how helps, which keeps you going too. Yeah. Is you're renewing and refreshing, and it's awesome. You're building it, but it doesn't. Then it's hard to like. It's hard to do another profession at the same time.
Yeah, which you're forced to.
Yeah. I do the best I can. Yeah.
As far as I can see, you're doing an admirable job in both.
Yeah.
And it's I always see you doing something, either teaching or working on the property somehow, figuring stuff out. I always feel like I should do more to help. I'm just kind of like floating in and out.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Anyway, let's go.
All right.
I don't think I have to clap again.